Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Come on in. I cannot believe, right? For those that are joining and expecting us to be here at 10, I just want to update you all. Me and Miss The Plug, Cheryl Sutherland, will be transferring this conversation tonight about BYOB and all of the specials that we had. Hello, hello, hello. We're going to have to do everything tomorrow, right? Hey, Kim Nicholson. Blessings, beautiful. Yeah, we're going to have to postpone everything until tomorrow because the button, hey, Miranda, blessings. The button that is normally on Facebook to join is no longer. Isn't that ironic, right? Blessings, Ann. How are you doing? Blessings, Miss Johnson. So yes, the button is no longer there. So we have to figure out another solution for everyone, so that we can, because we're both in two different states right now. So the live video, we have to figure out, hey, the technology thing, because it no longer exists. And a lot of my Facebook beautiful family, blessings, and a lot of the Facebook family is not actually on Instagram. So I know on Instagram we can still post, but on Facebook it's not allowing us to have multiple people. Hey, Trail, blessings. But let me just come on tonight while I'm on here and just have a conversation. Hey, let's just have a conversation. Listen, I was speaking earlier today. Yeah, I was trying Zoom Live, but the Zoom Live and from the phones, we were trying that route. I mean, I even got another phone and it was just not working. So I don't understand how to do Zoom Live. I didn't see the button that will connect it to Facebook. So Zoom Live can connect to Facebook as well, because I was not seeing that. So Miranda, Zoom Live is able to connect to Zoom has integrated to work with Facebook. Really? Okay, let's see. Because I didn't see that at all anywhere. So where on the Zoom Live does it connect to Facebook? Tell me, Miss Miranda, because I did not see it. I started an actual Zoom and was not able to connect it on to anything other than the actual people that were on there. So they're able to. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll have to figure that out tomorrow. Because we've been on this thing for the last hour trying to figure that out. Hello, Bobby Chantel. Yeah, so all of the specials and all of the information that we wanted to go over tonight. Oh, so it's an upgrade for $25. Okay, Sachet. Okay, got you. Got you. It's an upgrade through Zoom for $25 or an upgrade through Facebook for $25, Gilberto. It's on the package on your Zoom account. Okay, got you. So yeah, so we'll work out all of those details tomorrow. So we will presume. Oh, I hope I don't have a lot of. I hope my clients are. You see me, I'm like, we're moving the schedules and all that good stuff. So yeah, we'll print out. I'll have my assistant do some more videos, not some more videos, but another flyer to let you guys know, to update, to come in. Thank you so much, Miranda, because I had a 911. Like, can somebody help me? Please, somebody. Please tell me how this thing works. You know, technology, honey. Okay, so we'll work that out tomorrow through Zoom. So we'll update accounts and get all that squared away, because we know it can be done on Instagram to join in live together from different multiple places, but it's not, that's no longer available on Facebook. But you all, while we're on here, I was having a conversation the other day. I was talking to a young lady, and she was really at the point, you know, because we're all feeling this good vibe and energy that's coming for 2020. And one of the things that, blessings, Kyle, one of the things that has struck my spirit was to just be able to inform us a lot of these lessons that we had to learn, a lot of these challenges that had to happen and take place in our lives, a lot of the things in which we are literally now, okay, Okay, so yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Thank you, Miranda. So we'll upgrade one of these accounts because I mean it's going to be much needed regardless. So thank you for the information. But a lot of the things that a lot of individuals are going through, it's really about positioning ourselves for the abundance that we know we are to have, and for you to truly believe within your spirit who you are, whose you are, and to literally allow you to be able to have the capacity so that your next level won't take you out. Because with every level, they tell us it's another devil. With every level, we have to evolve and become a new version of ourselves, a more enlightened, and we have to heal on another level. Our mindsets have to grow, our faith muscle has to grow, our credit, our relationships. One thing, if I was to tell anybody that was in business, that I could say, if it was one thing that if I could do it over again, because there's so many things, start from not the backwards way around, in which we always do a lot of the things in reference to, let me go ahead and let me buy all this stuff and let me get all these things and let me X, Y, and Z. And the reality is, you want to build a foundation with your relationship. And I know a lot of times we have great ideas and we're like, oh, let me go out and buy this and let me get this and let me get this and let me get that. But the foundation of your business, people buy you. So the trust, the know, like, and trust factor has to be in place. They have to know you. They have to like you. And they must trust you and your judgment, right? So a lot of times we're going in focusing on a lot of external part of the process without dealing with the internal parts of the process, which is the relationships, the partnerships. It's almost like a sandwich. I remember, when I work with my one-on-one clients, I tell them it's so simple. It's if you are a peanut, if you are peanuts, you know that you particular what you provide the world and the value that you give, because you are the aspirin to somebody's need, right? You are their aspirin. So you are the solution. See yourself as a solutionist. What solutions do you provide the world? What comes in? Hey, Auntie. Hey, Pee-wee. What solutions? How do you make the world a better place? That's what you want to get clear on, right? And then when you're getting clear on that, you take it as a sandwich. If you are peanuts, you need to know who makes peanut butter. You need to know who makes jelly. You need to know who are the bread companies. You need to understand who are the napkin companies. Blessings, what normally is required to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If you know that what you provide is peanuts, because those are going to be all your partners, right? Those are going to be all the people that those relationships need to be at hand, so that you don't have to convince. They know you based on seeing your quality of work. They know you for what you do. They know the outcome. They have built the level of integral exchange and energy that has gone through. They've seen how you react from the left side to the right side. They literally off camera, they know that you are consistent. They know that they know they can depend on you. Those are the type of things that come into play when it's time to really make this thing happen. So a lot of times we want to go out and we want to buy and we want to start and we want to build, but you want to make sure you are in position to not have a lot of supplies without a distribution plan, not have all these products and don't understand how in the world are you going to get it out to the masses, because we skipped over a lot of steps by being so anxious, right? So anxious. And we skipped over a lot of different major components that will cost you a lot of money in the back end, because we did not sit down and think it all the way through to understand who exactly needs what I offer, right? So I had a deal that came across my table the other day, and I want to tell you all, one of the most powerful lessons I learned, and that's why I was speaking to some of the women the other day. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned thus far, that was one of the most costly lessons that I've learned throughout the process. That's right, Miranda. One of the most costly lessons that I've learned out of the process. You know how they say you get more with honey than vinegar? That's why I was telling my sisters, I was like, listen here, when you operate in your masculine energy, the majority of the time, it gives off a level of, it's almost like it's a repellent for people to be willing to naturally help you. That masculine energy, it literally does the complete opposite. So I know it's like, oh, I'm making it happen. I nobody ain't gonna take advantage of me. Nobody is gonna do this to me. Nobody did that. Women, just to give you a secret in this thing, you will get more with honey than vinegar. So being able to heal from the inside out, in reference to owning what you know you offer, so that you don't have to compensate, or you don't have to try to prove yourselves and protect yourself throughout the process. Knowing exactly who you are throughout the process will save you a lot of heartache when people start literally disconnecting from you because they feel as though you're going to be too much work. Like, I had 2 women projects. I remember going out on the job sites, and I remember checking out the properties. I remember it was actually 4 total, but I remember four total that I've looked at thus far that I that reminded me of myself, and 2 of them I literally was like, you know what, I can already see that this is going to be a bit much, because when you act like you know it all, and when you don't stay in your lane, when you're going into opportunities, people will literally decide not to deal with you because you want to do their job and your job. It's one thing to have wisdom, but it's another thing not to be able to have that, it's like, can I really work with this person? Is their energy literally showing me that this is going to be problems in the future, because they know it all, right? They're coming needing my service, but they're telling me what I should be doing, right? And they're already assuming the position of what this thing should go. And you literally will miss out on blessings and opportunities for people to be willing to work with you. I'm telling you something, ladies, that will save you some heartache. And what was my reality check is, I was like, oh my gosh, how many opportunities have I messed up because of my mouth? How many opportunities have I missed because I was overdoing it? How many opportunities did I get crossed over because my energy was so masculine that it didn't even allow me, because the feminine energy is about receiving. How many opportunities did I miss because I was too busy trying to protect myself? So my energy was so masculine till I was no longer in a position to receive, and I was in a position of guarding and defending, and I literally got myself crossed out of major opportunities. Because when I had to tell some of those ladies, you know what, thank you so much for considering my company for your upcoming project, but we feel that it would be a better fit for you to find someone else to partner up with. That is something major, because I've heard that a couple times throughout my journey and never thought of it twice, and came up with my own egotistical reason of why it didn't work out, but it was my energy. Knowing too much, acting overly aggressive, being in a position where you're not staying in your lane and allowing people to literally thrive in their expertise will cut you off from a lot of major opportunities. So if I could tell you to do anything throughout business, just as an entrepreneur for over 14 years, meaning that every single thing that the Lord has blessed me with, this thing did not come from guaranteed money. It came from, if I did not work, I did not eat. Whatever I did not do, I did not receive, right? So being able to have to make it from scratch year after year, day after day, week after week. It would say focus on your internal healing. As women, it is best that you understand how powerful your feminine energy is, to understand that you're already in a position and a posture to receive. So when you trust the Lord on another level, you don't have to be so guarded. You don't have to be so protective, and the energy won't repel off the people that's actually sent there to help you, right? So we end up getting another level of trust, not in ourselves, but in God, knowing that He is going to protect us. He is sending nothing but alignment our way, so that we don't end up repelling the very thing that we've been praying for, right? Because you just want to I know this, and I know this, and I know that, and I know this, and I got this, and that energy will place you in a situation where you'll look over and over, and you'll get to a point where you literally ask yourself, oh my goodness, why am I not where I it's one thing to hustle, but how long are you going to be in the hustle process throughout life, trying to get to where you want to be, trying to work towards, like, how many years, how many decades are we going to waste in the hustle phase of trying to get to the dream, when the dream is already full-fledged HD right in front of us, because it was already inside of us? And your energy is everything. Do people like you? So it's the know, like, and trust factor. Do people trust you? Have you built up your level of personal development in reference to, are you integral? Does someone have to remind you of what you said you were going to do? Does someone, ethical wise, because when you're dealing with major money, those are some of the main things that people are going to be looking at. It's not how you look and what it looks like. It's what's your track record. Blessing, Shireen, what's your track record? Is this a person that values their word? Is this a person that comes with the spirit of excellence without having to be asked? Is this a person that's willing to go the extra mile? Is this a person that has done their research and their due diligence to know exactly what the customer and the client needs, so that they don't have to be guessing and causing a lot of unnecessary misunderstandings, because you know exactly what you offer, right? So when you start going internally, half of your business is just really understanding who you are, what you're good at, what you offer in a lot of your internal aspects. So as a transformation coach, because coming from corporate America, being in positions where I was in management, you are working on projects with nothing but 98% men, and being in a position that I had to learn how this thing works without anybody telling me. And it was so, I knew that the sabotage was there. I knew that my energy, I'm a dark skinned, thick woman, so it wasn't coming off just graceful and very delicate. So guess what happened? I was so guarded. So it was like being like Oprah. All my life I had to fight. That's the energy in which for so long I resided in. And you know what happened? That took a lot on, it put a lot on me, and it repelled a lot from me, because the Lord showed me about a month and a half ago, He took me to a place where I literally had one of the most life-shocking, I'll be glad when I'm able to tell you guys the whole breakdown of what happened to me about 5 weeks ago, and how it shocked the core of my being. And when God shows you that you don't have to be guarded anymore, because that guardedness, and that you don't have to act like you know it anymore, it is going to naturally flow from you. Everything that He has for you is coming towards you. Anybody that's not supposed to be there, it's fine. You're going to make it out of every single thing that you will ever encounter, if you just trust that the Lord knows and sees all. And anything that ever happens to you, He'll turn it around for your good, regardless of what, right? So that energy of being just like, I gotta be on top of this because I don't want nobody trying me, or I don't want nobody trying to use me, that energy will repel some of your biggest contracts. not the day-to-day. See, we have to stop thinking small in reference to the day-to-day sales. We want to be able to do major contracts. We want to be able to literally, it's not in the physical work of things. It's getting to the point where you start learning what this thing called life really is about. When the thing called life is not about, listen here, if I need more money, I need to work harder. No, you need to work smarter. How can my money make money? How can I literally be able to gain more time so that I can use my intellectual property so I can master what I actually do? Like, not work. No, how can you work smarter? How can you multiply what you already have? How can you decrease what the overhead is? How can you allow your ego to die so that you can literally, and your pride to die, so that you can literally now be in a position to not have to prove anything to anybody? For so long, we've let ego and pride run our lives. Like, who are we proving things to? Half of the stuff, like, do you need it? Like, what's the point? When it's more going out than coming in, you're going to end up broke. That was the lesson, the hardcore lesson that I learned literally just a couple years ago, when I was like, listen here, I don't want to have to work till I'm 50 and 60 years old. I don't feel that's part of my destiny. I don't want to get to the point that I will not get, I want to be in full good health, enjoying my life on a day-to-day basis. I don't want to live for 2 weeks out the year vacation that somebody offers me. I don't want to, like, we have to value our one life that we have to live. And a lot of times it's just finding out exactly, what am I put on this earth to do? What is really going on? What did they not tell me? And what did they not show me? What do I need to unlearn? What has to go in order for me to now be able to receive? Those are some of the real life questions that we have to deal with throughout this process. I was writing down the other day some notes, and just really going through, like, a lot of my daddy says, like, the things that my dad told me that really, he would tell me, like, make sure you don't spend all your money, because life is a wave. And you want to make sure you ride you keep your board steady with your faith, because what comes up must come down. All those sayings they used to tell us, until you start actually experiencing it and you start wondering, oh my goodness, like putting up for a rainy day. That is so equivalent to the reality of, now I'm seeing a lot of people that are not in a position to actually retire when it's time for them to retire, because they were not putting up for a rainy day. I see so many of my peers that I'm like, listen, this is the time. If you're in your 30s and your 40s, this is the time that you should make sure you're learning financial literacy. This is the time that you need to make sure you start getting your affairs in order in reference to your credit, in reference to literally what are the good, are you going to be, what insurance do you just have? The basic insurance, or do you have the insurance that actually makes money for you? What kind of investments are you going to be investing in, so that you can start working on it now in your 30s and 40s, so by the time you get 50, most of them will be paid off, and you'll just now be about residual income. What type of investments do you want to start investing in? Is it residential portfolio? Are you going to be doing some of the stock markets? Are you going to be creating products and services that literally you don't have to keep on making over and over and over again? Like, these are the questions. Like, let's get out of the mindset of always work. No, the people that really make the money work the less. They work the least. I'm sorry. The people that really make the money, the wealthy makes more money not doing more work. That's not how you make money. You make money by really understanding how money works. You make more money by letting your money really make more money for you, instead of literally, and then you make more money. Like, what am I investing in? Am I investing in things that are going to help me get knowledge to make more money? Am I investing in things that are going to allow my money to make more money? Those are the things, not work. It is working smarter, not harder. I paid some real valuable lessons throughout this process that I'm so grateful for. In my 20s, I bought my first house at 24 years old, right? At 24 years old, I bought my first house. And I remember going through that process. And I remember even when it got to the hard side of it, of the foreclosures and the bankruptcies, and to now be in a position to just see the flip side of things, I value, that's when it taught me to really research what was really going on and how this thing, because when you have to build yourself up from the bottom up, you really learn some real powerful lessons. So many people are holding on to crumbs instead of letting it go. Listen, when you know whose you are and what you are to have and what you deserve, you won't hold on to crumbs so like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna keep this. Some people are stressed out, blood pressure high, relationships falling apart because you holding on to stuff that the Lord is trying to take out of your hands so he can give you something more. He can give you something that you don't have to work as hard for. He can give you something that they actually value you from the beginning, instead of like all this manual energy, that hard grit. How long are you going to do that? And that's why we're seeing so many people have health issues right now, because that energy of being so aggressive and so I gotta do it is really taking people out at a very early age. And I'm a person that, I told you, I had a major wake-up call just a little bit ago. A major wake-up call. You know, if I could tell anybody anything, I remember it was getting to the point that it was like, listen here, I'm in my late 30s. I have no time to play with anything that's not about my bottom line. I'm in my late 30s. If it's not getting me to seeing the other side. Now, I don't want to be talking about what I want forever. I want to have evidence of what the Lord has done for me. I don't want to be saying what I want my entire life. And I'm waiting on this, I'm waiting on that. No, when are we going to cross over to the promised land? Because let me tell you something. Some people will actually get comfortable in the wilderness. You know, in the Bible, when they said 40 years and 40 nights, they will get comfortable in the wilderness and be like, you know what, the wilderness ain't too bad. You know what, we like these trees out here. You know what, I know they say it's a land of milk and honey on the other side, but you know what, we's good over here. Like, this is fine. Let me just take some of these leaves and build me a house right here in the wilderness. Everybody is not going to be willing to do the work to get to the promised land. Be careful of those that are willing to stay in the wilderness their entire life, talking about, actually, this is good. And I respect everybody's view on what good is for them. Because remember, God gives you according to your measure of faith. He knew each person. That's why the Bible says, many are called, but few are chosen. Everyone is not going to be willing. My dad would tell me, they're not going to be willing to do the work. My dad would tell me this saying. He said, everybody ain't going to make it. Everybody ain't going to make it. Some will. Just make sure some people will make it. Everybody ain't. But just make sure you ain't one of them somebodies. That's what he would say. You just focus on making sure you're not one of them somebodies at the end of the day. Because that's the reality. Just like the Bible knows that everyone is not going to take salvation. And that's why you should not waste your breath trying to prove stuff to people that are not in alignment with truth and what you believe, because it should flow easily. We got to get out of this rotation of making stuff so hard. It doesn't have to be that hard. What's in alignment for you? Blessings, everybody. What's in alignment for you is looking for you. What's in alignment for you is seeking you. What's in alignment for you is praying for you. What's in alignment for you actually know exactly who you are before they actually came to the event just to meet you. What's in alignment for you actually literally been researching you for a very long time before, and they already got the money to invest in whatever you offer. What's in alignment for you is already for you. And guess what? They already have what is needed for the exchange. See, let's get out of this struggle love epidemic. Let's get out of this struggle living epidemic. Let's get out of this limited mindset epidemic. Let's get out of it. Because the Lord has granted us the ability to be able to what? Live a life of total abundance. That's what he's done for us. He's allowed us to have access to every single thing that our hearts desire. If you have a desire for it, it's not that it's already yours. It's just that we have to get in alignment with what we're saying we really believe. You know, life has gotten, especially single life, has gotten so much easier for me, right? I'm just telling you, when your soul believes what you're worth, when not what I'm saying, I'm worth this, when your soul believes what you're saying, is when you no longer have to say it. When your soul believes what you are saying, you no longer have to say it. It's like what's understood don't have to be explained. It's so simple. The people that are aligned professionally, personally, socially for your life, they are going to vibrate on the same wavelength. Their level of comprehension is going to be on the same wavelength. It's not that anybody is any better or less than anyone, but once again, one thing I've learned is that when I try to make people see what they're not ready to see, because I've been there myself. I remember when people would just tell me, I just don't have time to deal with her. It's just too much. Because I was so hurt and I was so busy trying to defend myself and I just wanted to be heard. And I remember one of the most powerful lessons my father told me was, people don't care what you think. People don't want to hear what you got to say. And that changed my life, because now as an adult, it makes so much sense. Listen, work so much on yourself till they want to listen to what you say. Work so much on yourself till your life speaks for you. Work so much on yourself till your results literally prove everything it needs to say about you. So that the whole goal is when we're working in ego and pride, we so busy trying to get people to see and do for people to accept it. No, get to the point that you don't even want to say nothing. That's when it gets good. It's when you don't even have the need, because it already speaks for you. When you don't have, and then guess what happens when you get good credit? Guess what happens about this thing? The more you get, the more they keep giving you. The more money you have, the more they keep giving you more money. The higher your credit score goes, the more they keep offering you more. The more money you get in your credit, they keep offering you more. The more, it's so simple. The more you start getting, the less you even want. Listen, the more I'm getting, the more I'm literally like, I'm downsizing everything. I don't need it. The more you acquire, the more you literally don't want it. That's why when they see people with money and they see them with some, they're not working about wearing all their money on them. They're not trying to have all their money on them. That's when ego is trying to speak for you. That's when ego is involved, and that's when pride is involved. When you're trying to still prove something to people, so all of your money is on you. All of your money is literally on you instead of in the bank making more money for you, right? So then when it gets to the point that you really need your money, it's all of these tangible things that have been either torn away, thrown away, or literally that you really look around and be like, oh my goodness, can any of this? Because see, this is how I think now. When I go to buy something, I'll be like, well, how much do I make a day? Okay, so every time I buy this or that, okay, that's another day that's gone out of my life. You start literally, the spending goes down and down when you start looking at every time you buy this item. So if I make this amount a day, and if this item costs this, that's a whole day of my life that I'll never get back if I just buy this item, right? The thing about it is what I'm researching by researching a lot of wealthy, not rich, wealthy individuals, is they are in an essence of understanding how this thing works in reference to the more you give, the more you receive. But first you must get, you heard what I said, first you must get it so that you'll even have to give. Because if you continue to give, one thing I read the other day, a gentleman was homeless. And he said, a guy saw him and he said, listen here, sir, how did you get to this point of being homeless? How did you get to this point of being homeless? And the guy said, he paused and he put his head down and he was like, I used to be a person that I would give my last to help somebody, and I would give the shirt off of my back. And he was like, and the very people that I helped wouldn't lift a finger to help me right now. And he said, one thing I've learned is when you're building your house, make sure it's easier to invite somebody to your house that's completed than it is to need the bricks that you've given them along the process that now you can't even finish your house, right? You so busy giving away everything you got trying to get there to now when you finally need it, you have nothing. They won't give it back to you now, and then most of them still don't have. So guess what? The very bricks that you need to build your house to finish it, you don't have it. So he said he learned a very valuable lesson, which makes so much sense. It's like, listen, let me get there first so I can help those that's coming behind me. But if I keep on giving out every single thing I got, I'm going to be left here with them. One thing they told me, if you around 8 broke people, you're going to be the 9th person. It's like the pastor would say, it's tight, but it's right. I know this scene, but if you around 8 people that always need, in a little bit, you gonna be the 9th one, right? If you around the need-based instead of the solution-based individuals, and it's not saying that, okay, well, you can't be around people that aren't at a place where you at, because we have not always, it's always waves of life. Life never gets to a point that I just arrived or you make it and that's just it. It's all about what? Understanding how it works, because the Bible tells us about this. It's a time and a season for everything. It's a season in your life that you have to be selfish. Because if you miss that season of being selfish, when you get to that next season, you're going to be burnt out or broke. If you don't go through each season, it's going to be a season where you can give freely. But if you miss the season that you needed to be selfish, you won't be able to give freely in ways, right? I'm so serious. I meet so many people that are burnt out because I am a witness of it. Just giving and giving and giving and giving and being resentful in your spirit because you're giving from a place of hoping it returns when you're not to your place of overflow yet. Start focusing on getting to your place of overflow so that you can give without resentment when it don't come back in the way in which you thought it would come back of, right? Haven't you done enough seasons? Don't you have enough awards on your wall that show I'm a good person? Haven't you done all that? Start just focus on yourself for a little bit. Stay honed in on, you're going to keep on talking about what I want if you don't focus on yourself for a season. You're going to keep on talking about, waiting on this if you don't focus on yourself for a season. I ain't say forever, but I said for a season. You're going to keep on being in a place in the wilderness if you don't focus on yourself for a season. It's going to be a time where you literally have, just like, it baffles me that, that's why I really want to focus on my body, because listen, your body is your temple. And if the Lord showed, and if he told, everyone does the Daniel fast in the beginning of the year, right? Everyone's like, oh, I'm just going to do the Daniel fast. There's some stuff that I need. And there's some stuff that I want to get I want to get loose from. And I want breakthroughs and X, Y, and Z. And then we eat all good. And we get clarity. We get all this stuff when we do the Daniel fast, when we start eating and feeling lighter and not breathing hard and we sleeping better and we getting clarity, we can hear from the Lord easier. We're doing all this with the Daniel fast, right? We get blessed, and guess what we do? Then we go back to what? Eating everything that we know we're not supposed to eat, right? Because we see that does not make us feel good. It's simple. Don't go by anything nobody tell you. Just ask yourself, how do you feel? You know how it goes. Eat some different foods, and then next thing you know, after you finish eating, you be like, I feel horrible. Listen, I have not slept in I don't know how long. I'm going to sleep, waking up tired every single day. Your body is a machine. How long are you going to work it on literally fumes? Because we are eating junk. We're not physically working out. We're not doing anything to keep it mobile. We're doing everything the complete opposite. We're surrounding ourselves around energy vampires. We are literally putting ourselves in places where we're just getting depleted, no nutrients, depleted energetic wise, depleted spiritually because you don't feel like doing nothing and going nowhere. You're just depleted. And guess what happens? All that comes to a head. And then you're like, oh my goodness. I'm at low. I'm almost burnt out. Now I'm in traffic going off on everybody. Now I can barely have conversations because I'm very on edge because I've allowed myself to be depleted. 2020 is the year that the Lord is positioning you to get rewarded for every battle that you have won. 2020 is the year that the things that you was waiting on, we've been saying it's coming for a long time, but how about it's here? How about it is here? It's here. 2020 is the year that you want to know exactly who you are on a level in which you don't have to prove who you are or say who you are. 2020 is the year that you want to get to a place of grace, of peace, so that produces power, so that produces clarity on another level, so that opens the door to receive every single thing that you are. Like, you've done the hard work. Get rewarded for it. So that the next generation doesn't have to come in talking about, I'm waiting on this and I'm waiting on this and I know this is going to happen, expecting something to fall out the sky. That's not what's going to happen. If you're not going through discipline and sacrifice seasons of your life, if you're not planting the seeds, do not expect a harvest. You will get out of this thing what you put in. It's a simple equation. Don't put your hand in the cookie jar to get any cookies out of it if you did not bake the cookies. It's nothing in there. The same thing internally goes for us. When, I was telling the young lady, listen, do whatever you have to do to get yourself together. If that is reading the word, if that's going to church 8 days a week, whatever it is for you, if that is doing affirmations, if that is cutting off everybody, if that's including more people, whatever it is for you that you need to do, because everybody's equation is different. Everyone's journey is different. Do whatever you need to do to get yourself prepared for your journey. Because when this thing gets real, it's always an up and down. It's always highs and low seasons. When this thing gets real, only thing that you have to get you through is the Lord and what you have in you. If it's nothing in there, when it gets real, you're going to be falling out. You're going to be thinking it's bigger than what it is. The enemy is the master illusionist. He's going to get all in your head and make you feel like, oh my gosh. I'm telling you from sheer experience, like, it's some stuff. But the more and more you win these battles internally, the more and more it aligns you to see this thing so much clearer, so that you now can have access to deal with it. The Lord will not give us more than we can bear. That's why a lot of things had not come into our life yet. I know exactly why my husband hadn't come yet. Listen, the person that I am now and the person I used to be is two totally different women. I know exactly why he had not come at that time, and I'm grateful for it. Because I would have messed that thing all the way up. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, it's no ego fight over here. I'm team let the man lead. Let that man lead this thing. Listen. I'm team let the man lead. Let that man lead this thing. I'm team let him lead. Let him lead. Listen, just pick you somebody that you trust their judgment. Just pick you to somebody that you understand that they're great leaders. Just pick you somebody that has a submission to something other than themselves, right? But you all, I just wanted to come on today. Tomorrow we will talk financial literacy. We will talk credit, personal and business. We will talk about things that are literally going to get you in alignment. I just wanted to come in today to just be able to tell you that we were supposed to be live today, but we found out after hours of hour of trying to get this thing to work on Facebook that it is not working properly. So you all will join us back tomorrow. We will get all the technical things together in order for this to work smooth tomorrow. So join me and Cheryl the Plug Sutherland tomorrow on Facebook at 7 p.m. Hopefully it'll be 7, but it'll be on the flyer. So just look on my page. But we have a lot of good things to be able to tell you about. And also get your questions together on what you want to ask us tomorrow. If you have any questions, please get them together. For those that are wanting to come to the BYOB, Build Your Own Business Blueprint, it's going to be 30 plus years of experience telling you from the nitty gritty how this thing works, how the lessons we've learned, you know, what we've seen thus far, and what we wish we would have known if we could do it all over again, what they did not tell us, what we had to pay for. You know, I've told you all I've invested over 6 figures. That means over $100,000 in coaching, in classes. That's right. In masterminds and mentorship programs. Because listen, we didn't know, they didn't tell me how to flip my money. They didn't tell me how to position myself. They didn't tell me all that stuff. They just told me just to do the basics. Go to college, get a degree, get a couple degrees, and work hard. That's all they told me. Listen, that's all they told me. Get a couple initials next to your name, get you a nice little corner office to the side, and you good to go. You living a life. Get you 2.5, kids, and you good to go. That's all they told me. Until I got a lot of that stuff. Until I finally got it. Listen, I was making close to 6 figures when I was 23. I'm 38. When I was 23 years old, I was making close to 6 figures. And I had the titles. I had the titles, I had the office, I had the dream job that I had been wanting since college. I was set up for this is supposed to be it, right? This is it. Woo! Got the money, hey, this is it. I can get what I want. I got the nice car, and I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. I was severely depressed. I went to work, I came home, I went to work, I came home, I went to work, I came home, and I was like, oh Lord, it gotta be more. Like, I know this is not, I'm not gonna repeat this for another 20, 30 years. I know this ain't it. Like, when I started seeing the people that was making $250,000 a year, and I was seeing how they were, how they was responding, I'm like, I don't want that. Like, this is not it. Like, if I got to do that to make $250,000 a year, I don't want that. That does not appease me, right? If I got to sell my soul in order to have money that I cannot enjoy, no, thank you, right? That's when I understood that it was bigger than the money. And I'm glad I experienced that at 23 years old, right? So then I went into entrepreneurship, right? And listen, I went into entrepreneurship, and the Lord allowed me. Soon as I jumped into the hair industry about 14 years ago, I was making $1,000 a day, right? I was making $1,000 a day. And when I tell you, I mean, at that time, I thought, like, this is it. Like, money coming from everywhere. And what I learned when I ended up in the hospital, right? I ended up in the hospital with IVs. I ended up in the hospital with the nurse saying, do you have anybody to call? And I was like, my relationships were at nothing. They were at 0%. I was so owning and all trying to make this money to no relationships had any foundation. I lacked vulnerability, so I had nothing solid in reference to people that I was connected to. I had nothing but surface relationships. Meaning that all the relationships, I just knew them from a smile. I just really didn't know them. So when times got real, it was nobody that I felt that I even wanted to have around me at that season. And that was a wake-up call for me when I got into entrepreneurship. And that's when I understood that it was bigger than just the money as well as an entrepreneur. It's bigger than money. It's about well-being. It's about really enjoying what you do on a day-to-day basis. It's about really getting to the point where, for me, because I don't know, I know miserable rich people, and I know people that have literally figured it out in reference to they live a life of just look like cruise control. In reference to they don't have, even if they didn't have to get out of bed, honey, that money's still going into their accounts, right? Because they did years of sacrifice and they followed the plan. And that's what I literally strive to just like, how do I get there? Because this rat race, I don't want any more. I don't want any parts of it. This hustle and bustle, hustling and have nothing to show for it, I don't want that no more. This literally spending all my money and have nothing to show for it, literally living check to check every single month, I don't want that no more. That living just for the income tax 2-3 months because I don't know money management and I don't value what God is, I don't want that no more either. You know, I didn't want any more of that anymore, because I understand that we get one life to live. And it's not what you have, it's what you have done. How many lives have you impacted? What was the quality of your one life? You know, it's like, what was the quality of it? You know, some people live and they leave up out of here, but they struggled their entire life. Some people live and they was depressed their entire life. Some people live, and that could have been me, because I told you I suffered from deep depression, and that's why it's called the transformation place. Because the Lord took me from being a person that was severely depressed, severely overweight, had so much self-hatred, to now being in a place where I'm so grateful with the nothingness. Listen, when you get to a place when you're grateful for just everything, like you just grateful for just your peace of mind, because you understand that your peace of mind is so powerful, that your peace of mind cannot be bought, that your peace of mind that you fought for to get to, you never trying to leave that place ever again, because you know the cost that it has to lose your peace. When your peace becomes a priority, your entire life changes. Thank you for the hearts, mother. When your peace becomes a priority, it's when your life changes. And guess what happens? When you start really enjoying and valuing your life, and valuing your time, and valuing your space, and valuing what you actually offer and who you actually are created to be, guess what? You end up getting all the other stuff. All the other stuff you've been working towards, you actually get all of that too. Because now you're in alignment with it, right? It comes so easy then, right? When we just really start dealing with what it really is all about. So if I can encourage anybody, it is to do your best to figure out what works for you, whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you. Figure out what that feels like for you. Nobody can tell you what your one life is supposed to look like. You need to figure that out. You owe that to yourself. Nobody can tell you what your one life is supposed to feel like. That's up to you. That's your responsibility. You know, one thing I learned was to stop handing my heart out in my hand to people and be like, please don't hurt me. I'm a good girl. And then it turned into I'm a good woman. I'm doing all this overcompensating, trying to prove myself to people for so many years that never deserved. But they taught me some of my biggest lessons. They taught me exactly where I needed to look at. They taught me, like, through all that hurt and that pain, it leaves clues. Success leaves clues, and sure does pain as well. Your pain got clues in it for you, honey. If you look at your pain, it got some clues on where your treasures are. Just like wealth leave clues, pain leave clues as well. Those people that hurt me, those things that hurt me, those things that I felt abused me or misused me, it left clues. It left clues if you're willing. It left clues for me to literally look in. Why am I experiencing this? What in me is literally missing? Like, what in me has voids? What in me is attracting all of this? Like, what in me, what lessons do I need to learn so I no longer have to see and face them type of people or situations again? What in me, like stop taking the blame. Life is going to give you so many reasons to be like, they did this to me and this happened to me, so you can stay stuck. No, take responsibility. What do I need to do? What in me is needing me? And then you know what I found out? This whole time while I was offering myself out and trying to prove, you know who really needed to prove it? I needed to prove it to myself. This whole time I was offering my heart out to people, I needed to offer my effort to my soul, my own spirit, my own heart. This whole time I thought I had all this love to give to all these other people. I was not even giving that to myself. That's that reality. When you start looking back, like, I'm expecting all this stuff from people that I need to be giving to myself. Because then you get to the point that you no longer need them people to give you nothing. And guess what happens? They give you everything at that point. When you no longer need it, just like credit. When you got good credit, you got a whole lot of money and they expect you what? Not to use the money that they give you. Because that's how you keep good credit. If you use the money that the good credit give you, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have bad credit again. Guess what happens? If you literally let your money pile up, guess what happens? The people keep giving you more money. More money make more money. More money make more money. That's, the more you let love flow through your heart, guess what? More love just keep on coming. I'm serious, you all. It's a beautiful thing. It's like that storehouse, honey. I passed the test the other day that I'm so proud of. I was like, you know how you love yourself? It's not by what you say. It's what you're not willing to take, right? Because when the enemy offers you something and you know that is less than what you deserve, that's how you, when you say, I decline, when it said I denounce, I reject that, everything that is offered does not have to be accepted. We have to remember that. Everything that is offered does not have to be accepted. Just because somebody offer you that, don't mean you got to take it. If that is not up to the standards in which you feel you should have, you what? Reject it. No, thank you. It's just like when you know your worth, it's just like when it's just like having a purse. If somebody was to come up and grab your purse, you'll be like, no, this is my purse. The same way if somebody was to call you somebody else's name, you don't respond. That's the same way you have to be about your blessings in the life that you know you are to live. If that is outside the love that you feel you deserve, if that is outside the pay that you feel like you deserve, you do not respond. Return to sender. No, thank you. No, that is simple. No, thank you. That's called self-love. When you say no thank you to the crumbs of life that the world tries to give you, is called self-love. Self-love is when you literally look it in the face and say, oh no, I already have more within me. I don't need that. Sorry, it's no need. So that's just extra. Listen, when you can say, sorry, I already got that. And you know what? I already got it inside of here. So no, I'm not going to accept this foolishness you trying to offer. This is foolishness. You guys, once again, I'm going to talk business and just transformation tomorrow for, from that aspect for the BYOB. I'm so excited for all the women that, and literally the women that have already signed up for the class that are coming out on this Sunday. For, I'm a person, as you can see, I tell the nitty gritty. Listen. And for those that are coming into life, even the women that are 9 to 5, everybody needs a multiple stream of income. Every single person needs multiple streams of income. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, honey. You will disappoint yourself. Everybody, even if you got a 9 to 5, you need to use that 9 to 5 to grow your business so that it works for you. It's so many things that it helps you with, even to the tax cuts this year. The 9 to 5 employees are going to have so many they're going to see when taxes come out in January, all the cuts that happen. that's going to lower, you know, they were giving you the money throughout the year, and now and the income tax come, and if it's not money management skills in there, now it's going to be like, oh Lord, where my money at? But for an entrepreneur that has a business, we actually, we have more deductibles. We had more of a tax cut that it works for us in such a bigger way in reference to it's. And guess what? The more you acquire, the more you're able to get with a business. Listen, that's a win-win situation. Listen, when you can literally get business credit and when you can get, listen, it works for you. So then the more you invest, the more properties you buy, the more you multiply your money, the more you get more of your money back. That's a win-win situation to me. I don't know, but that's just my mindset. I don't know. But anyways, because, you know, it's all about, once again, to each their own. Everyone's quality of life is up to them. You know, I remember I'm currently living in one of my dream, you know, environments. And I remember when I thought it was all taken away. And I remember sucking it up and being like, well, at my lowest, I'm going to become my best. And when I had to learn how to enjoy my time and myself with $2.12 going to Wendy's and pulling up saying, listen here, I want a Wendy's burger and a fry and water with ice. When I had to go to McDonald's and be like, I'm going to have the wrap, 2 wraps for $1, and I'm going to get, can I get a cup of ice water? Listen, when you learn how to be happy with nothing, it's when you literally change your life. When you know how to be happy with nothing, if it's nothing in your bank account or if it's $1 million in your bank account, you have just given yourself the biggest gift you could have ever given yourself, which is learning how to be happy with everything that stays constant, which is yourself. So you guys, God bless you. Thank you for your time today. And join us tomorrow for the BYOB, the Real Business Blueprint, that will be out tomorrow. It's this Sunday at 10 o'clock. For those that are still looking to get tickets, listen, we have a few more left. Please do yourself a favor. Get this information so that in 2020, you don't have to guess and you don't have to waste time. You can start off running. Listen, it's nothing like experience. Experience, honey, save you a whole lot of stuff. But listen, some lessons I don't want to learn. Listen, just tell me what I need to be doing. Tell me what I should be doing. Listen, let me pay for some knowledge to make me some more money. Listen, let me decrease this overhead. Let me decrease all the things that's taking my money so I can keep my money, so I can make more money with my money. Let me do some of those things, right? Hey, Auntie Gladys. Blessings, blessings, blessings. What'd you say, Auntie Gladys? You got $38? I'm trying to tell you, if everybody got, I don't care if they selling Tupperware, you need to be able to listen. You can write off, listen here, you can write off 30% of your office. You listen here, you can write off them good cell phones. You can write off, listen here, is the internet for your computer that you got to work from home. That's why people see I'm working from home, honey. But then guess what? Half of that good old, it gets to be written off. You know, listen, you get to get your vehicles in your business. Listen, there's a whole lot of things that a business helps you with. It's a whole lot of things that it can work for you. And so, hey, Auntie Hilda, blessings, blessings, blessings. It's a whole lot of things that even if you have a 9-to-5, it works so much better when you have ways to be able to keep your money. It works for you. I'm so serious. Hello, Angelique. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. But I've been on today and I was talking about a lot of the different, things, because we do have a live that we were supposed to do at 7 p.m. today. But it was postponed to tomorrow because literally we could not figure out how to work the the thing. We could not figure it out. But you all, I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm like, let me take these blinds up. Let me take these blinds up, Lord. Let me take these blinds up. But I hope you all have an amazing day, amazing evening. This is our season. If anybody is feeling discouraged, I just want you to go over just a few things in your life that you used to think that you were not going to make it out of, that the Lord has now blessed you to be able to thrive in, right? It's so many things. Just remind yourself. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves, right, of what all the goodness that the Lord has done for our lives. Like, we really, I'm like, is this, oh Lord, I'm like, did I do something? Hold on. So these my rocking chairs, right? So I literally come here, right? I come here, this is all I do. I come here and I literally sit, cross my legs, right? And I get my mind together, right? Hello, Charles. How you doing? This is all I do. I don't know what I just did to this I don't know what I just did to this thing. But just remind yourself of all that the Lord has done for you. And it'll get you through every single aspect of your life. It's so simple. Just remind yourself of all that God has done for you. And if I can tell anybody anything, it would be blessings. It would be to get out of the rat race. Listen, get out of the rat race. Listen, do your sacrifice seasons in life. Position yourself with your master plan. Work your intellectual property. Learn your lessons. Heal. Build your relationships. If I can tell anybody anything, build those relationships. Build your life to the point that you can live and enjoy all of your days instead of just waiting to a certain point to enjoy yourself, right? Do what you need to do to enjoy this life for what it really is. You get one life to live. You don't get no do-overs. You don't get to say, oh, I'm going to come back and do this. No, you got one life to live. You heard what I said, one. Don't live it for people. Don't live it for what people think. Don't even live it for what you thought you were supposed to be. Ask the Lord what he has for you and position yourself to live. Listen, the Lord, you heard me say I used to eat $2.12 McDonald's meals. When I moved back home and had to shut my business down in 2012, no one knew I had $50 to my name. $50. I ended up opening up a salon back home. I worked in Orlando and I worked in Wellington. I worked in 3 different cities at the same time. I had to hustle. I had to get it. I had to do whatever was necessary. But see, I didn't cry about it because I knew it was a big picture to it, right? During that season, I knew he was preparing me for pressure. He was preparing me to be able to learn how to do multiple things at the same time under another level of pressure, to have to drive from 3 different cities. Now, you got from Wellington down south to Fort Pierce to Orlando. You driving on within literally every 2 weeks. You working between 3 different cities, and then I was taking care of my father. Literally, he was teaching me how to deal with pressure. That's why I told anybody, if you want to walk in my shoes, have at it. You should want nothing nobody has. You should only want what's for you, because you can't. Listen, I tell people, if you can do what I do better, have at it. Listen, because Rome was not built overnight. See, Rome was not built overnight because everybody's norm is different. What somebody else can go through, you might not can't go through. What somebody else can go through, I might can't deal with. Listen, that's why I don't want nothing nobody else got. I only want what the Lord has for me, because that's what I have the capacity to be able to master. I don't want nobody else's stuff. You can have your stuff. God bless you. And hey, I'm cheering and rooting you on. That's how I am. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what them people had to go through to get or keep what they got going on. Listen, I tell people, listen, you want my overhead? Don't look at what I got. Ask me how much I have to pay every month. And ask yourself, are you willing to do the work that requires to keep that? That's what you need to ask. I see people, I love your car, and I love this. Yeah. Are you willing to put in the work to get that? Because you can have it too. Listen, it's a unit above me. It's a unit down the street. Listen here, it's 15. It's 1,000 of them cars on the car lots. You can have the same stuff I got. You just make sure you're willing to do all that work. Listen, make sure you're willing to do what you need to do. Blessings, Dr. Millionaire. How you doing, honey? Blessings, Dr. Millionaire. You guys, honey, my friend that just got on here, Dr. Millionaire. Honey, I'm trying to tell y'all, I remember me, my friend, freshman year in college. I remember meeting Natalie. And when I tell you, she was like, I'm going to retire at 40. And I would be like, oh, okay. She was like, I'm going to be a millionaire, honey. I'm going to retire at 40. I was like, oh, okay. Well, we're 38 years old. My friend girl retires in 2 years, honey. Well, which, as she said, it'll, you know, she retires technically in 2 years, honey. But I wish I would have listened to her. I wish I would have had a budget. You know, she had a budget. She literally had a spreadsheet when we was 18 years old. She lived off of a spreadsheet. I would see her with all her scholarship. Blessings, Martez. Blessings. Mr. DVIC, I would see, hello, Monica. I would see her living off of a spreadsheet, right? So she had all of her scholarships lined up, and she would live, and she didn't have regular scholarships. She had ridiculous scholarships. So she had scholarships that it was worth more than what people made per year. When I tell you, she lived off of a spreadsheet, and I would literally be like, what is she doing? She'd be like, oh, this is my budget. And if I would have listened to my friend girl, when we were 18 years old, I would have been a millionaire with her by now as well. Because when I tell you, discipline, hard work, and sticking to the plan, if I can tell anybody else, discipline, hard work, and sticking to your plan, whatever that is. Discipline, hard work, and sticking to your plan will change your life. Listen. Because when everybody else got to still be working, you ain't got to be working, honey. And when everybody else still got to be in the rat race, you ain't got to be in the rat race. You chilling, right? And you can do as you please. That sounds like if I would have known the importance of a budget back then, if I would have understood financial literacy on another level, if I would have understood credit and what utilization was, and what you know, the value of my peace and the value of my time, if I would have understood the value of setting up my portfolio and the value of getting the proper type of life insurance and being able to invest in Roth IRAs and the 401ks and being able to understand stocks and bonds, if I would have understood the value of a lot of those things, I could be retiring as well before 40. But I tell you, I thank God for my lessons, but I also thank God for giving me a physical, breathing, live person that I've known since I was 18 years old, that I don't have to be like, oh my goodness, it don't exist. No, some people are around us to be able to show us that it does exist. That's why we can't be hating. We have some people around us that they are around you to show you that they are no different than you. You can have exactly what you've been believing because they are living proof that it exists. It's people that are around us that are walking, breathing billboards of God's blessings and the promises that he has for us. So that's why I appreciate all of the amazing men and women that the Lord has blessed to be around my life, that showed me through their life, not by telling me, but the proof is in the pudding, when literally they live what they speak, right? They live what they speak. And it motivates you to be able to level up on another level. And remember what I told you. If I'd have listened long time ago when my daddy told me, if you around 8 people that's broke all the time, you gonna be the 9th one, I would have had much more going at this point in my life. Surround yourself around people that encourage you and actually motivate you and inspire you without even telling you that it's more to this world. Surround yourself around people that make you want to read. I remember the first book that my friend girl gave me, it was the Millionaire Next Door. You know, when I went to her house, I seen this lavish library. And, you know, people meet me and be like, girl, you always reading, you always got all these books. It was because I had a friend that when I went to her house, her library was so extensive. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, look at all these books. And then she was like, girl, here you go. And the first book, she gave me a book called The Millionaire Next Door, right? The Millionaire Next Door. And you know how they say the saying, if you want to keep something away from people, put it in a book. It's so much information available for us. If we would just, you know, the Bible tells us that my people perish from the lack of knowledge. If you just do your due diligence to read, if you just do everything that you don't know, that you can't afford a coach for it, it's a book that it literally has the information somewhat in there to get you started. Whatever you want to do, if you can't afford one-on-one or the person does not have the time to mentor you, it is a book, I'm sure, because nothing's new under the sun. It is a book that offers the information that you currently do not have to get you started. Just read a book. That's why I read a lot. Whatever I don't know, I'm sure it's in a book. And whoever I can't pay to coach me, I'm sure it's in a book. Listen. But once again, a lot of that is around our surroundings. So I'm grateful to have had one female millionaire friend that I literally saw her stick to her plan and see the fruits of her labor be right in front of us. And the same thing goes for us when I see couples that they're genuinely, they like, you know, I always said, I want a husband that I like and love. I don't just want to love my husband. I want to actually like him as a person, because I met so many marriages that they really don't even like their husband. Like, to be honest, I remember being like, I actually want to like and love my husband. I know it's not going to always be peachy cream, but I know at least if I got one life to live, I want to actually be with somebody. So when I meet people, when I see functional, healthy marriages, that the people actually work as a team and they've met somebody that they can grow with, I actually commend them, and I like being around that environment. I know I can't be the single friend, and I respect that around a lot of married couples, but I do appreciate being able to see walking, breathing examples of being able to find a partner, because that allows me to still believe, you know, that it is real. Like, you can meet somebody that actually, you guys have different paths, but you choose to grow together, to be able to face each other's personal journeys together. And I'm grateful to have met some amazing, and we have Donna Myers on here, but this is Mrs. Florida from the Miss Black America pageant. Blessings to you. When I tell you just the aura around her and her husband, just literally, I mean, it's so inspiring. And I'm grateful to have met different couples and unions that make you feel like, wow, you know, it's possible. It's possible to meet somebody that you literally can see yourself iron sharpen iron with. You can mastermind together. You can strategize together. You can take what you're good at and what they're good at, and you can build something together. So I Thank you, Donna, for being my marriage inspiration. Thank you so much. I know Pastor Marvin Jackson and Pastor Deborah Jackson, they are my, you know, as pastors, they are my mentors in reference to, I love the way, because I believe the way the head is the way it trickles down to the bottom of the triangle. So when I went to the church, it was just so many genuinely look like prospering couples. And I believe that it literally happened because you have a head that they literally love themselves in reference to love each other in a way that she, as a first lady, because when you meet a lot of first ladies, a lot of them, you know, it seems like they're suppressed in a lot of ways, you know. And when you meet first ladies, that they still have their feminine essence, they have their voice, they know who they are naturally submissive to their husband, they want to take care of their husband, they let their husbands lead. I love that. Like, I think that is a dynamic duo. So when I meet spiritual leaders that have found their paths individually and they thrive together, I am so grateful to witness that. You know, in the Bible, when it says, you know, when people look, it's like Elisha and Elijah. When you see others that have the essence, it's not that you want what they have, but you know that it exists. When you see others that have something, that is worth honoring. I'm grateful to be a witness, right? Because in the Bible with Elisha and Elijah, he was just grateful to be a witness, right? Because when you are a witness, you understand that the Lord didn't allow you to see it for no reason. He didn't allow you to know close up on it that exists if you were not supposed to experience it. He didn't allow you to be able to see that level of that dynamic if that was not what you were supposed to be able to enjoy. Like, he does not, like, he don't give us that. Like, just like he didn't give me the amazing father that I had if I was supposed to meet a man that was on my daddy's level. I'm sorry. I just know, listen, my daddy was an amazing man. That's why I'm still single. Listen, you can't be dropping the ball over here. You can't be slipping over here, because, see, my norm is different. I had a man that, listen, the proof was in the pudding. Whatever he said he was going to do, he did it. You didn't have to ask twice and beg, and you didn't have to do all that. He had fresh $100 bills. It was a man that had multiple streams of income. It was a man that literally provided for his family on a daily basis. It was a man that he is still gone and is providing for his family. Listen, it's real. And I'm grateful that the Lord allowed me to witness a father, because that's why I take it so personal that I'm not joining with anybody, and I'm not going to be having no kids from just no anybody, because I understand what a real daddy, having that level of masculine energy and protection and being able to have a security in your spirit, that long as my daddy here, I'm straight. That's something that I'm a blessing to have witnessed that. You see what I'm saying? So I want my kids to experience the same thing. So I can't just join with anybody that's dropping the balls, because you're not going to be my kid's dad and you're not showing up to their games. I actually want you to be a participant. Like, I don't want to get with no man that he telling my kids that he gonna do this and don't do that, and making them start believing and that they got to be doubting every 5 minutes and can't trust somebody's word. And I don't want to be joining with somebody like that, because my daddy, whatever my daddy said, he did. And that's why I have when I'm dealing with gentlemen, if your word means nothing, it's no need in us talking, because I'm not going to believe anything outside of that, because you don't value the level of integrity. We're not going to agree on a whole lot of things if you don't even have a level of character that what you say you go do, you go do. Like, that makes absolute, I don't know nothing. I don't understand that, because I'm a woman that when I give my word, I make it happen. And I expect to have a partner that has put in the work and effort and understand the value of the same thing. So that comes in being a witness. The Lord allowed me to be a witness of a father that was a daddy, that actually sacrificed himself for his family, and to see the importance on what that gave to my journey, to see that I always knew I was supposed to have, because my daddy made me feel like that. He created a level of norm. I always felt like I was supposed to have. I don't care if I had $2. I still felt like I was supposed to have. Like, I knew that wasn't gonna last forever, because I just know I'm supposed to have good stuff. And I seen a daddy that put in the work. So I knew I was supposed to work hard. Like, I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to do what I got to do. That's how I'm going to get fresh $100 bills. That's all I knew, is if you put in the work, you're going to get fresh $100 bills. And I always have crispy $100 bills. And I'm grateful to be a witness of that, because when you put in the work, when you do extra, you have extra. If you do, one thing my daddy taught me is, if you do the basics, and if you matching what everybody else doing, you're going to have exactly what everybody else have. If you do extra, you normally have extra. So that's the way, it's a simple equation. If you're doing what everybody else doing, you're going to have exactly the amount that everybody else having. If you do extra, normally you're going to have extra. It's a simple equation. You can't, nothing from nothing equals nothing. You can't get something from nothing. And I'm grateful for my daddy being a man that was a man of wisdom. You know, he was just a man. Nothing that he's told me thus far was not true. It was all true. So I'm grateful for having a man. That's why I value men's their mindset. Like, what's your thought process? Like, what's in your head? That's why when I meet guys, I'm like, no, like, all the superficial stuff, like, I already got that. I'm straight. Like, that's like when you go to BMW. Leather seats is standard. Living a certain way is called standard for me. Like, that's just the basics. And I understand life is a wave and ups and downs, but if you have a person that believes in hard work and sacrifice, I don't care if they lose it, they're going to get it back again. See, it's the foundation. If you are a person that works hard and you have results, you don't just become a result-based individual overnight. You've been doing that for a very long time. So you've mastered some things. So if you were to ever lose something, I guarantee you it won't be lost for long. I guarantee you know the roadmap to getting it again. That's the beauty of this thing. When you've gone through life and you put in the work, nobody can take that skill set from you. You know exactly how to get it back again. You don't fear losing it because you know exactly what to do to get it back because you put in the work to learn the experience. That's what it was all about. What you experience, nobody can take that away from you. The same thing applies to hard work. When you know how to work hard and you know how to make a dollar, when you know how to multiply, when you know how to produce, no one can take that gift and that skill set away from you. You can do that with anything. The sky is the limit. You can do those same concepts with anything. When you start developing relationships and understanding personalities, you can meet and go anywhere. You're not just secluded and you're just not confined to the people that you know. You can go anywhere and literally learn and meet, because we can learn from anybody. It's not just about money, it's about mindset. See, when I say meet people on your, it's not about money, because money is just a byproduct of your mindset. It's all about your mindset. What's your mindset? You acquire based on the equivalence to what you comprehend. What's the mindset? That's in reference to people that are on your level, not because they're broke with money. No, they're broke with money because they're broke-minded. It's about what's the mindset of the person. And we all are on different levels at different times. I tell anybody, I don't put nothing. Listen, this thing is a wave. I just told you in 2012, I lost it all. Again, that was the second time. That was literally lost it all, had to move back. Blessings had to move back home with $50 to my name. But I didn't let that get me down, because guess what? I went through the experience. So when I came back here, I knew exactly what to do to get it back again. I knew exactly who to call. I knew exactly what steps to take. I knew exactly what I needed for this. I knew exactly what I needed for that. I know exactly how to maneuver because I went through the experience. That's all God is trying to get us to do, is get through the experience, so that we can learn what we need to learn, so that we can now get the ability to strategize and multiply. Right? But anyways, I will join you all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Hopefully the new flyers will be up to confirm the times, and we'll get all that squared away as far as the technology. I apologize for those that came on today expecting to hear all, because the real plug, Miss Cheryl Couture, me and her talking tomorrow. This class this Sunday is going to be amazing. It's really going to be amazing. I'm so excited to be able to pour out just what all I've learned thus far in the business spectrum of how to multiply money, how to be able to get out of the rat race, how to be able to let my money make money for me, how to allow myself the ability to get this intellectual. This is your money maker right here, your mind. Your mind is your money maker. Your heart is your multiplier, right? Your mind is your money maker, and your heart is your multiplier, right? Because that healing of the heart allows you to be able to receive and to be in alignment, right? When we have a hurt heart, we normally be, doing all that extra repelling and protecting and defensive and sabotaging ourselves in so many ways and so many opportunities. So that's our multiplier, is our heart. So you guys, join me tomorrow. We will be talking about the real business blueprint. It'll be 30 years of combined entrepreneurship, meaning that two people that have multiple streams of income is able to give the knowledge from how we started with nothing and was able to get something, how we learned the systems that was able to make money while we sleep, how we learn how the foundation of credit and how it works, and then also the strategies on getting business credit so that you can get these business loans to buy buildings, to literally create revenue for yourselves that literally every month you don't have to, it pays for itself, to be able to get business credit, trade lines. It's so many different options and products and services. SBA is so much out here that would allow you to make more money off of your money, that would allow you to flip so you don't have to be working. You know, it's only so much working. When I understood that, listen, I can make $2,000 working 26 hours doing hair, but how long can I do that? Like, how long can I burn my body out? And I know, when I experienced what my max out was, just like with corporate America, when I understood with the company, the highest person getting paid was $250,000, $250,000 a year. And I saw the quality of living and how they look. I was like, I can make $250,000. If I can make this for them, I know I can make this for myself. Like, it's all about belief in yourself. If that person, this is the highest that the company can go, and this is the highest, this is as much, like, I don't like ceilings. If this is as much as I can go, let me find something that I can multiply what my skill set. So it's all about that skill. Let me multiply what I'm doing without having to multiply what I'm doing. You get it? But anyways, you guys, God bless you. I'm so excited. Congratulations in advance to those that are joining the class this Sunday. It's going to be amazing. You will not leave not knowing, and you will not leave confused, because I know what it feels like to go to events and them not tell you. They tell you what you need, don't tell you how to do it. We are going to break it down on how this thing works. You will not. We have the business blueprint, the real business blueprint that comes out to this weekend. It literally is a workbook. It's a book full of affirmations on wealth and transformation from the inside out. It is a book that it's a weekly planner to get you organization, to be able to mastermind within yourself how to get your things done. So the real business blueprint, the workbook, will be released this weekend. So for those that are not able to join the class, the real business blueprint workbook, and we have some special goodies inside of the workbook for you guys. It's a weekly planner. It's filled with wealth affirmations. It's filled with transformation affirmations. It's filled with all of the questions in reference to getting the blueprint ready for your business. It's a weekly planner for organization, for strategizing. It's going to be amazing. So it comes out this weekend also on the 9th, which is Sunday. So most definitely, you guys inbox us, and me or Cheryl, if you're ready to be able to get the real business blueprint, the workbook that comes out as well this weekend. We have all kind of coupons and all kind of special stuff for you guys to be able to get more of the tools that you need to be able to really maximize your 2020 year. Thank you all for taking the time out this evening. I think I've said that 15 times this time out, but I just love being connected. I know that the sacrifices that I must take moving forward in order for me to create the woman that I can't recognize anymore is going to be very interesting, but I am up for the challenge, right? I'm up for the challenge. So I'm so excited to transform on another. Every level is another level of transformation that has to happen for us. So I know the life that I want to ultimately be connected to is on the other side of what I want or what I'm waiting on. It's victory season, everybody. We will have the evidence of what God has been placing in our hearts for a very long time. I hope you feel it in your spirit that this is your season, that this is your time, this is your year. I hope that you feel it in your heart, that you're so connected to your divine destiny like never before, because this is it, you guys. This is time. He's going to align you up with people that will literally be able to, through a phone call, bless your life. He's going to place you in position that you have all the certifications. You're ready to sign the major contracts. You have every single aspect in place to be able to create wealth on another level. He's going to allow you to be able to be a blessing to those and be able to add value into every atmosphere you encounter. Every person you encounter, you will be able to add value. Because that's the whole point. I want to be able to make change and to allow myself to be a portal to be able to assist in the process of others being able to be transformed so that they can allow themselves just a little help on their journey to maximizing this one good life we get to live. I want to be able to have so much wealth that I can bless somebody that will change their life in just one day. I want to be able to have a level of healing in my heart, that I will have a level of understanding to others, that when they meet me, they won't feel like anything other than, oh my goodness, thank you so much. In reference to the hug, in reference to the just genuinely saying hello with the connection, in reference to just being up, just I am here to hold space for you. I know what it is to be in the darkness. I know what it is to be depressed. I know what it is to be broke. I know what it is to literally be burnt out. I know what it also is to be delivered. I know what it also feels like to have financial freedom. I know what it also feels like to have a lot of things that we are all trying to get to, right? We're all in this journey together. Teach one a better way. That's the name of that's one of the mottos of the Transformation Foundation, my foundation that I established this year, that I'm so excited to work with so many people next year, finalizing all those things, to be able to work with them and be able to help the mothers, the fathers, the kids, to be able to create harmony within their households, to be able to strategize and set goals for their lives, to get unstuck from where they are. I'm so excited about the nonprofit to be able to really help those that are currently in a position that they just need to know how to do it. God bless you. Have an amazing evening. Thank you for your time. Blessings to you. It's our season. It's our time. Everything